All right, everyone. So I have with me here a very special guest. His name is Emmett Preciado, always smiling, a beautiful soul, one of the kindest people I know. So here we go. Yeah, how did we meet, Emmett?
How did we meet? I auditioned for your music video. Um, and it was funny because I actually never thought I was gonna make the music video. I wasn't able to make the audition. And then it all just like worked out and I was able to audition for you in person um and then you picked me. So that was really awesome. Yeah. But yeah, your music video for Mexican Baby.
Yeah, I love talking about the audition process, even when I look up other movies and things and how did people get roles, and just to let our audience know that my band Glasspirits with my bandmate A Perez were coming out with a music video for our song Mexican Baby. We decided to, well, it was actually my bandmate's idea to have this love story. And I was like, okay, let me cast this and figure this out. And so, yeah, we sent out a casting call. I posted, actually, you responded on Facebook from what I remembered. And I posted in one of these acting and filming Facebook groups. And you responded, you sent everything. And yeah, you were also working on other projects and you weren't able to make the initial audition, but then you kept expressing that like you were really interested and you sounded really bummed. And I was like, man, he just sounds so nice. I just and the other person was wonderful too that we were considering, but I was just like, you know what, I'm always gonna wonder about this person, so let's just. And you were like moving at the time. It was like
Mhm.
really crazy for you. Like, we held the audition at your empty apartment, and um and I was like, yeah, if you were able to stage it in this certain way, and you found like a fellow actress to like audition with you, and you got the furniture stage, and I was like, wow, this person, he just makes so much effort. He works so hard, and not only that, like, you just did a good job and deserve the role anyway. So
Oh, you.
yeah, that was like a really wonderful time, and we have finished shooting, and we actually shot it uh probably we started shooting and like wardrobe fitting a month before the pandemic happened, or a little more than a month ish. And then on our last day of shooting, like, the pandemic was starting, and so we just shot. We like rushed to shoot, like, the studio. I had booked studio space for the scenes, and we and then the studio had to close down because it was part of a college, and so they had to follow state and local ordinances. And so I was just like, oh man, let's just, like, I don't know when I'm gonna see you guys. Like, I just didn't know. I was like, are you guys willing to like shoot this today? And
We
you,
just jumped right on it
yeah,
and we
and you
finished it.
guys were so game. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I showed you some teaser screenshots, and I'm really excited. So
I'm excited too. I can't wait.
yeah, and the actress who stars along with Emmett is Amy Melendrez, and she's also super awesome. So you if you check out Emmett's Instagram, you will see them being awesome together because they are BFFs.
She's my girlfriend now.
Yeah, that's I guess we can kind of touch up on that later if you feel like it. But yeah, I mean, let's get our bearings down. So your former name was Emmett Claren. So when I was looking you up to just hear about your story, a lot of your articles were from the Huffington Post, and Vice did a documentary on you, which was super awesome. But at that time, you were Emmett Claren. Do you want to maybe tell our audience what happened and how Emmett Preciado came about?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. Actually, my whole life, I grew up not knowing who my grandfather was on my dad's side, and he didn't know who his dad was. So on my dad's birth certificate, um, my grandma just wrote down Claren as his last name. Um, and that's not actually like the name of his grandfather, but it was just put down. And that's the name that my dad grew up with. That's the name that I grew up with. Can you hear the yard work? Is it
No, I don't hear it at all.
okay? Perfect. Awesome. Okay, sorry. Um, and then a couple years ago, like I might say like a year and a half ago, my dad did the 23andMe test, and we ended up finding a whole side of the family we didn't even know about. Ended up finding his dad, my grandfather, um, and we got to like meet and everything. And their last name is Preciado, and that's the name that I was supposed to have at birth. That was the name my dad was supposed to have at birth. So um, I've decided that I'm going to be changing my name legally to Emmett Preciado because that's what it should have been all my life. So I'm currently working on that, but there are a lot of articles that have like my old name in it. So it gets people get kind of confused, and so it's kind of like a fun story, and also really cool to like know the Preciado side of my family now.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome story, and I think the great part of it is just discovering a part of you, I guess that you didn't know or that has been missing, and then getting to know that side of the family. So that is super awesome and special.
Yeah,
I remember you kind of found that out when we were starting this project, and I was like, man, he's going through a lot of changes.
yeah.
Like you were moving, your name was changing. I was like, okay, this is this is
Yeah,
his thing.
and I'm moving again. I'm moving next weekend, so it's just I'm busy, 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 busy.
Okay, wow. Well, that's life. There's always changes. So, yeah, and speaking of moving, you have, from listening to other podcasts, you have been to Utah, Nebraska, even like Wisconsin, right?
That's
You
where I
have
grew up.
just Yeah, you've just, been everywhere, but you actually were born in California. Do you want to kind of talk about that?
Yeah, I was born up north in Merced, California, and only lived there for like 4 years. Um, my family dynamic is a little confusing. My birth mother had me when she was 15 years old,
Mm.
and my dad was 17. And um, my parents, they ended up getting married. They also had my brother 2 years later. I was 2 years old, and then my birth mother got into drugs at a very young age, so she's not really a part of my life. Um,
Mm.
we got taken away from her when we were children,
Mm.
and my dad ended up getting custody of us and raising us. He's a single father, a very good father. Um, and then he met the sister missionaries from the Mormon Church, um, or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the full name. But the sister missionaries came to our apartment. I guess I was told that I opened the door to the missionaries, and
Mm.
they came and taught me and my brother and my dad. And um, my dad ended up like joining the church, and he also fell in love with one of the sister missionaries that was teaching us. So after her mission was over, she and my dad were like writing each other, and they fell in love, and
Oh
they were
my
dating,
gosh.
and then they ended up getting married. So the sister missionary had taught us. She became my stepmom, but she's my mom. She raised me, but she was from Wisconsin, so that's why we moved from California to Wisconsin, and then that's where I grew up. I lived there for 10 years.
Okay, so you have been with the Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints,
So it's the Church
the
of
church.
Jesus Christ
Okay.
of Latter-day Saints.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yes.
Okay. I need to like practice that 10 times. It's a mouthful for me, but I'm willing to like say it right. Okay. So you have been with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints since you were 4, I believe, or
Yeah,
okay.
I was brought into it at that age, and then I got baptized when I was 8 years old, and
Mm,
yeah, pretty much my entire life.
okay. That's great for any of our listeners. I will provide a link below on our YouTube description and wherever I can, the platforms this is going to be on. To I'll definitely check out his documentary that Vice did on him, because it's really thorough. It really shows kind of a lot that you've been through. Would you like to, kind of tell people, I guess, like whistle stop tour of it?
Yeah. There was a documentary done a few years ago, and I was early in my transition. I think I was only like 6 months into my transition at that point. But yeah, they talked about like they got into my history with the church and where I was at that point in my life back in 2016, and just talked about how, I still felt very strongly about the church. I felt very like I wanted to stay. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be as active as possible, and I was, for the most part, as active as I possibly could be as a trans individual. But it was also very difficult because I was having things taken away from me. I wasn't allowed to enter the temple. I wasn't allowed to do things that the men in the church usually do. And so it hurt a lot to not be able, like, I'm the kind of person who likes to be either all in or all out. I don't like being halfway in something. I don't like that. And that's what was happening, is that I had to, like, I had one foot in the church, like one foot in the door, and then the other was like, I can't really be fully like a full participant. So I talked about that. I talked about my experience with church. Talked about how I still have a very, very, very strong relationship with God. And we were also preparing, they were recording, like documenting my top surgery, because I was having surgery as well. So, and that I was risking disciplinary action for having my surgery. Yeah, it was a very well done documentary. I'm really grateful that they came and they were very genuinely interested and came into my life, and I was grateful that I was able to, like, share my story to help other people, especially other young trans individuals who were in the church.
Yeah, it's very powerful, and it's very intimate too. It almost, please correct me if this is probably a weird way to look at it, but when I did watch it, it was almost like seeing someone give birth, even though something was being changed and a part of your body was being removed. It was like almost watching someone give birth, like, because I guess it was like you. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's kind of, because it was just so, like, intimate and really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I've been preparing for months for this to be, for my chest to be gone. I was waiting months and months and months, years even. I mean, I've been waiting since since I had started developing breasts. I was waiting for them to be gone, and then to wake up. They documented. My friend recorded me waking up, and seeing my flat chest for the first time, and that was, like, to this day, one of the most amazing moments of my life, because I had been waiting for so long to not have breasts, and then to wake up and just, oh my gosh, I'm flat. Like, just, they're gone. Like, that was one of, like, just seriously the best feeling in the world.